when you clearly see that you are not meant for each other, it will be difficult to break the bond.
No matter the kind of pressure somebody is giving you, if you now because of the pressure enter into a relationship, it's going to be you and the person that's living there.
Face your fear so that you won't waste time for 2-3 years. The time wasting and the eventual no are things that eventually make some people they just zone off relationships.
If you're in a situationship and the person that you are communicating with is not ready to give a form of commitment to that relationship, the best thing is for you to let go.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Glow With Us podcast, where we're transforming everyday lives with the light of Christ. I remain your humble host, Fayakumi Faith, and this is part 2 of our episode. And we just have our special guest here in the studio with us, Pastor Sola and Nike Ajayi. Drum roll again, please. Thank you so much. We've been enjoying the conversation so far.
Wow, we thank God for that.
We are so grateful.
We're also enjoying ourselves.
We're so grateful to have you guys in the studio with us. All right, so we're just going to dive right into, as we were, talking before in the conversation that we were having. And I have the first question that I have here for you is about what we call in our present day and in the dating world, or in the, just this generation, situationships, right? I got a question from one of our followers talking about that they had been, friends in situationship with this person. They actually had like a talking stage, or I don't even know what it was, but they were talking for a long time. And what happens when you're in a talking stage with somebody, or you're talking for like a long time? How long should a talking stage be? How long should you guys not be dating, but you're still trying to see how things go, right? What are your thoughts about talking stages, situationships, and then how long do you think that should be before they actually commit to something?
Okay, the issue of situationship, relationship, I look at it as a way. It's good for young people.
Okay, that's good.
Young people that are still try to learn the rope or how to plan into getting into a serious relationship that will lead them to marriage. Or for someone that is ready and is willing to start a relationship that will lead to marriage, it's like a waste of time. Because in a situationship there's no commitment. It's like you guys are just friends. You have some kind of emotional feeling towards each other, and you discuss, you call yourself, you go out
on
together,
the phone for hours.
You can be on. But you see, when at that point, but it's going to get a situation in your life that you have to make some decisions about the way forward.
Wow.
If you're in a situationship and the person that you are communicating with is not ready to give a form of commitment to that relationship, the best thing is for you to let go.
That's right.
To let go and move on with your life. There's no reason why someone should be wasting your time and keeping you at a spot for years without a commitment. So at this point, you must realize that, you see, everybody, there is always a stage in your life where you need to take some decision. And when you get to that river, you must cross it and move on to the next stage of your life. Because, you see, thank God for you guys. Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. You must acquire the right knowledge for every session of your life.
Yes, sir.
As a teenager, there are right knowledge. As a young adult, there are right knowledge. As you move to the next level, there are right knowledge. So when you are in a situation, some people, they just want, because some people, they have some kind of emotional problems. And they need somebody to balance their account.
Like an emotional, somebody that they just want to be talking to every day.
You get the point. So they just need somebody to be balancing that account. And if you are not in that same pedestrian...
So what if the other person has already caught feelings for that person? Like the other person that wants to not be in a situationship, that actually wants to be in a relationship, but they're in love. Like, so how do they break away from that?
Yeah, you can break away from it by communication.
Okay.
If you caught feeling and you are ready to go into a relationship and the other person has not spoken and the person is not coming forth, please speak about it.
Wow.
Have a conversation about that. Young man, this is I tell people it's not only guys should talk. If
But
you,
most ladies don't want to.
you know,
It looks, because a lot of people, especially Gen Zs and millennials, it has gone around, on social media, that it's kind of, I know that a lot of people shoot their shot, and most ladies, most girls, some people are of two schools of thought. Some people believe that you should shoot your shot, while some people believe that, oh my God, if you shoot your shot, you're gonna look cheap. So
there's always a way to present to present your idea, to present what you have in mind. You see, like if you are in a relationship with a guy and the guy is wasting your time and you are ready to go into a relationship, call the guy.
to ask him.
Young man, I am ready for a relationship. And if you are not ready for a relationship, I think there's need for us to move on. Then I think there's need for me to have a better focus about relationship. Then you, if you are not ready, you can still continue where you are. Then let me move. Release me. Let me move out.
So you feel like that conversation is really
Yes.
important.
If the guy is not ready, the guy can now come back. After some time, can make a proposal and you can start a relationship. But don't get yourself caught in a situationship and wasting your time unnecessarily.
Okay, so sir, how long is the time frame that you feel like as women we should give a guy, or because I feel like most of the time the problem in this case is usually the guys when it comes to someone that's not trying to be committed, right? So how long should a girl give a guy to say, how long should they be talking for, like in the talking stage?
Well, time frame is not something that can be definite. Let me say that. It depends on the people that are involved. And let me say this to you. And we'll talk about personalities. There are some people, they are too shy about issues around them.
Okay.
They want you, they want to keep you, but when we realize something, they are not confident enough.
So you think those guys are shy?
Yeah, some of them.
Wow.
Not all. Some of them, they don't have the courage and they don't have the charisma. They don't have it to speak out. And if you are a private jet, if you are somebody that is outspoken as a lady, and you are in a situation with a guy that is reserved, that is not like, is like an introvert.
Yes.
Maybe he's finding it difficult to express, but you have the content and what you have in that guy. There should be a way where you're going to present the issue, the matter to the guy, that will make the guy to speak out.
Okay.
And one way or the other, you start something good,
Okay.
or a very good. And if there's need for help, and that's why we always say this, that if there's need for help, seek for that help.
Okay.
But the time frame, I will recommend personally maximum of 1 year. I will recommend that.
For
Talking
talking relationship, like just talking and talking.
Just, you see, the moment there is a feeling,
Yes.
and you discover that there is a chemistry.
Do you mean 1 year to be from friends to relationship, or 1 year from, let's say for example, let's say you attend the same church,
Yes.
and then you now take special interest in this person.
Yes.
So you guys are always calling all the time. So you want us to be calling all the time for 1 year?
Maximum. My personal
Ma, do you
opinion.
have?
There is no-
I think you're looking at your husband like,
Yeah.
bro, what are you talking about?
I think he's
opinion.
mixing
Okay.
the talking with something that is showing a slight
Interest, like
interest.
commitment. Okay.
Yes, like if he's just talking, we can all talk.
Yes.
But a situation where you know that your talking is tilting towards
Relationship.
one person and you have moved it to being emotional, when you wake up, it's the same person you want to chat.
Yeah.
Overnight, you already know
That
that there is
something
more
there. Yes.
Yeah.
to this.
Yes.
And when you already know, like my husband said, there are some personalities that are shy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why we recommend that you don't wait on relationship before you know who you are.
Yes.
And you know your love language.
To
you
know
all those
yourself.
things.
Yeah.
Know yourself and have a general view of all these personalities, so that you know that who you are on talking relationship with.
Yes, yeah.
You want to know whether the person, like you said, is an extrovert.
Yes.
There are two kinds of extroverts.
Okay.
Some extrovert, if he's the sanguine,
Okay.
or let's say he now, because
Yeah.
many times the ladies are the ones that are trapped in
In the talking stage.
and
talking
they have to
stage.
quickly take decisions.
Yes.
Because of age and
Yes.
if he's a sanguine that he's talking to, he may be having this talking relationship with more than
one
And
person.
it even happens in the church.
Yes.
This is the issue we're
he
finding
may be
these days.
displaying this affection.
Yeah.
Not generally.
So
about
every
3 or 4 ladies.
Sanguines
Yes.
are general lovers.
Yes.
And when you now, and why it's important to bring up this is, by the time you bring it up, you'll be surprised and you say, and I don't mean anything.
You're just
And you are already feeling.
you're just you're just my sister.
Yes,
I always
you're
wanted
just
a brother.
my friend. Yes, he
Yeah.
may be doing the same thing. But if he's the other extrovert, he will come out to tell you
This
that's
is-
a choleric.
Yes.
But if he's the introvert that is phlegmatic, those ones can be on talking relationship for 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you don't speak out, so don't say I don't want to sound cheap.
Yeah.
They may be there. They will talk. They will be so dedicated and devoted to you.
Yes.
But they don't
Asking
have
you,
the courage.
what did you eat?
I'm
Have you
telling
eaten today?
Like you said, they don't have the courage and charisma to tell you. You have to help them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell you.
You can-
help them to help your own situation.
You can help him
not
or
to
have
be
with a
trapped.
simple question. Where are we heading
Where are we
to?
heading to?
What are we-
What are your intentions?
What are we doing with this relationship?
Yeah.
What is the what am I
What are
getting
we
from this?
talking?
What are we talking about? You see,
Oh my
it's very
God.
important so that there will be a clarity of
Yes.
what
Okay.
you're
Clarity
doing.
is key.
Okay, so I do have a follow-up question to that, and I feel like especially a lot of Christian guys, they face sometimes rejection from like ladies. But another thing is, some ladies will not necessarily tell you no. They'll be around you. You're taking them out. You're taking them for dinner. You're going this. You're doing that. They're buying gifts, and she's not giving him a commitment, but he's just doing all these things, hoping that she will finally say yes to him, right? But she's not saying anything. So, in as much as ladies experience that, the other side, guys too experience it where you're chasing a girl, she's not necessarily saying yes, but she hasn't given you like an answer, but she's just there. You're buying her stuff, you're doing this for her and that for her. So what would be your advice to guys that are in the position where they like a girl, but she's not emotionally available for them, or maybe she's not interested, maybe, he's not her type or whatever, but she's just there and she's just entertaining, So what would you be your advice? I don't know if you want to say something.
Basically, maybe your generation is different. But in this your generation, I know there will be people that will be so focused and assertive with their lives. When you see situations like that, why will I put water inside the basket? Do you get it?
Yeah.
It's a thing that it's one thing for me to be generally nice. If I'm specifically nice because I identify the lady I feel I love, and she's not showing it. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
It's either a yes or a no.
No.
And so yes, it's either.
But feelings
face
are
your-
already
Face your
involved.
fears.
Okay.
You get it? Face your fears so that you won't waste time for 2-3 years. The time wasting and the eventual no are things that eventually make some people, they just zone off relationships.
Yeah.
And good people will pass by for years. They now channel their energy to first masters, second masters, third masters,
Trying
doctorate.
to run away from our
Trying to, exactly. And they are emotionally void rather than face it. So don't get yourself into that web.
Okay.
And if you need mentors, coaches, at least my husband, somebody still ran to my husband in this Edmonton, I think it was last year. And he gave him clarity.
Wow.
And today they're in a relationship.
That's amazing.
I think they're going to get married.
Yeah, very soon.
That's
Very soon.
amazing.
By the,
He
before the end
was-
of this year.
I feel like a lot of our viewers
Yes.
will want to have.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of our viewers and our listeners, they want to have an idea on how they can connect to you guys. Can you tell us a little bit about your business and how people can connect to you, in terms of like getting counsel and things like that?
Okay. Basically, we do this professionally, and obviously we do it professionally as a ministry and as a business.
Okay.
There's a separation. What we are doing now is ministry, but when
Okay.
it comes to one-on-one, we have time for this, and you can reach us through our phone calls, through our handles, through our website. That has been you'll see it
Yes.
in this through our website.
Yes.
What we do is professional, personalized, detailed, customized coaching session, depending on who you are. There are some people that will come to us on relationship. I said, when we look at them, I said, this is not what you need. We have to put them on
therapy.
Healing program.
A lot of people need therapy,
so
really.
Leave this. And there are some people that came for sessions, counseling sessions to marry, and they decided by themselves that, no, we are not meant for each other.
That's amazing.
After the psychometric
That's actually
assessment
amazing.
tools.
Yeah.
And it's better they go their separate ways.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, we still got a chat yesterday. We are in their fourth coaching module.
Wow.
You know, we have modules.
Yes.
And they are not good enough. They started early
Yes.
because they intend getting married next year. That's
Yeah.
why we tell people, don't come for premarital session
when you're married,
when you have done,
you've made up your mind.
when you have
done introduction,
proposal, introduction. You are, everybody knows you, your parents know you, and you know, and that's always an issue.
Yes.
Because when you clearly see that you are not meant for each other, it will be difficult to break the bond.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Everybody is aware, and these are the things we.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm quite surprised. You know, I'm quite impressed rather that a lot of people go through a counseling session, and some people do decide to actually break away from because it means that is you know, there's an impact there. So for all of our listeners and for all of our viewers, all of the details on how to reach them is going to be embedded in this video. It's either going to be here on the screen or somewhere here on the screen. So please click on the link and check the description box, and you will see all on how to reach them. All right. So just going into the next phase of this conversation. As you were talking, you mentioned somebody, you know, having 2 master's degrees, or like going to school to study more, or having this and that. So the question that I want to ask you is, how much achievement or how much money do you think that somebody should make, you know, or like before the person decides to, you know, be in a serious relationship or be planning on getting married? How made, if I want to use our Gen Z language, how made, you know, how soft should our lives be already before we actually decide, you know, to take it further and, you know, take life with somebody else? Yeah. Okay. Who wants to answer?
Well, times are changing.
Okay.
And now we are talking to the Gen Z.
Yes.
You know, I think the basic thing that everybody should know is this: if you are going to marriage, you want to settle down with a lady, or even as a lady, you want to settle down with a guy in form of marriage. Is like there is this maturity that must set in.
Okay.
There must be emotional maturity.
Okay.
There must be, as a Christian, there must be spiritual maturity. And there must also be financial maturity.
Okay.
Now, what do you mean by financial maturity? I think that your question is tending towards financial maturity.
Yes.
So, as a man, as a young man, in this generation, you want to get married to a lady. You know, in our own generation, it was not like this.
Okay.
But in this generation, you must be at least have a place of your own.
Okay.
Have an accommodation. I mean, that you know,
like you want us to like have a house, buy a house, or you just want.
It's not compulsory that you
buy a house.
Buy a house.
Okay.
But if you can do it, if it is within your capacity to do it, please do it.
Okay.
It's always good to get some of those things before getting married. But if you know that you don't have the capacity, you need to go and pay the bank before you settle down. Yeah, you don't need to do that. All you need to do is make sure that you are comfortable.
Okay.
Comfortable, and in this part of the world, I always advise young guys, be mobile.
Okay, have a car.
You can't be in this kind of environment and you are not mobile. It's not normal. It's not good. Let me say it's not normal.
Especially in the winter, especially in Canada.
Yes, especially in Canada. It's not too good for you to. I remember when I came into Canada for the first 1 month before I got my car.
My God.
That was the day I got to downtown. I was stranded. I started crying.
Oh my God.
But the cold was too much.
It was too. Oh my God.
So, and he said, come on. Just get something, no matter how small. It may not be too expensive, but something small that can take you and your wife to where you're going to. Okay. Get this nice accommodation, a very compact and decent accommodation. Then have some money in as savings that you can start your life with. So this is key. This is good for you. And not to be a millionaire or to be somebody.
So
that is
just to be comfortable is what you would advise. Okay.
And have a structured.
Okay.
Financial system.
Okay.
Like my husband said, that your generation is different because basically we don't think of even where we're coming from. a harsh economic climate or an unpredictable
people still
economic
used to get
climate.
married a lot.
Yes, people still used to get married as in a very humble
like
way.
back,
But here we have an edge. You know the edge. We have a structured system, a structured economy. As long as you have a basic career that is upwardly improving, you have a clarity of vision.
With a stable
you
job.
have a job you're doing. She has a job you're doing. She's doing, and you can come together. Remember how we started? Financial integration is good and ideal. You both have things you're doing. You are not doing beyond yourself. You don't want to put on all the human hair or wigs.
Ma, can any one of them,
around.
can they still be, like, if maybe either the guy or the girl, can somebody still be in school? And what is the dynamics of somebody that is really comfortable? If one person in the relationship is like comfortable or like, has money, is that enough for the relationship to work?
It's enough.
Okay.
When you mean comfortable, I believe you're saying that in relationship with the economy,
yes,
the budget, at least the basic economy, we know what it means to have a basic economy. Every new immigrant, of course, obviously starts with the basic economy and a management system, financial management system with clarity and mutual vision. Why not? So one can be in school, because even when you're married, there will always be a time one person goes to school and the other has to. There would always be improvement. So learn it from the beginning. Don't wait until everything is set.
And also, let me add to this. Is it going into a relationship when it comes to someone going to school and one is comfortable? Going to school can also be in different dimensional ways. If you're a citizen of Canada or a PR holder, you're going to school is different from somebody who's an international student. So if you are a guy and you want to go into a relationship with somebody that she's an international student, then you need to count your cost.
Okay.
But relationship is about commitment.
That's right.
It's about commitment. It's about you taking some. I mean, as most of all, as a man, there should be a level of trust. A level of a lot of a commitment financially.
So you need to have enough money
you need to be not that if the lady is dependent on you, but the truth of the matter is this: you must be ready to do one thing or the other as the one that God has placed there to be the head of the home. She may not be asking you, but you must play your role as the leader of the home in a way. So comfortable in that aspect is at in different level. If you are married to someone who's in school. But if both of you are working, having a structured work, in this part of the world, you can get whatever you want if you have a structure.
That's right.
Plan yourself and move on.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that, sir. So we're gonna go away from like the financial aspect, and a lot of our millennial people are asking this question. And if we are trying our best, we're going on dates, we're doing everything that we can. And probably we're attending, something like your platform, and we're, on your match-minding website, and we're trying to, find somebody, but, we're still in that process. But how do millennial people, or how do people now cope with pressure from their parents? Maybe their parents are either back in Africa or even here in Canada, or how do we cope with pressure from family members, pressure from aunties and uncles, and saying, "Oh, I have this person for you here," and and also just parents, generally asking, "When are you gonna get married?" So how do we cope with pressure from people and from society to get married?
Okay.
You wanna? Okay.
Go first.
All right. I tell people that find you before you find a spouse.
Okay.
You get it? If you find yourself and you have discovered who you are, and it's not every Tom, Dick, and Harry that people throw at you. People, family, friends, and remember that they mean well. So if you always remember that they have your interest at heart, that's why it will not box you to a level of avoidance. Many times people avoid a social gathering
absolutely,
because of this. I don't want this to. But when you have found yourself, your self-love, your self-happiness, your self-celebration, You get it? Self-discovery. When those things, the pressures set in. The truth is that the pressures are real.
Yeah.
When you get to a certain age. The pressures are real, which we won't deny that. But find yourself. Then secondly, have a support system.
Okay.
Support system can be friends. And it doesn't mean that you now form a caucus of friends in the same caliber without having mentors and encouragers. You know, it's one thing to have friends, but have friends that are also married. So that I was telling somebody yesterday that there is a thin line between being desperate and being available.
Okay.
I was talking to a lady, she's about 35, just yesterday. He said she's zoned off expectations, that she has prayed, and she's not coming. And this lady actually soaked herself up. She's also somebody that is into coaching and all.
Okay.
Soaked herself
In
up.
work.
Yes, you know, in this relationship.
Yeah. So she made herself really busy.
Really busy, encouraging others. I said, this may be your coping mechanism, not in terms of fulfilling purpose. So separate between that desperation and being available. Because when you are desperate, you want to shove family and friends away. What if they have a good recommendation for you? So you don't cut them off. But by the time you have found yourself, find what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Ma, what about the ones that don't have recommendations but are constantly asking you
pressure.
all the time, when are you getting married?
Then if you need to cut them off, they could be waiting.
What if they're your actual parents, like your
Oh.
father and your mother?
Okay.
How do you cut them off?
If they're your parents, you know, you see, there's a way to always address your parents. For them to be telling you that they have reasons and their mindset is not for your downfall, it's for you to
Be
to have a
successful.
settled home.
Yeah.
So as a matter of fact, you need to consider them as well. You talk to them respectively. Mom, Dad, I'm not sleeping. I'm working towards this. I'm on it. Just
I'm
give
not
me
sleeping.
time. Give me time. I'm on it. As soon as there's somebody good for me, I will let you know. Because you must have it at the back of your mind that if you go into a wrong relationship, nobody is coming there to live with you. It's going to be you and you and you alone. No matter the kind of pressure somebody is giving you, if you now because of the pressure enter into a wrong relationship, it's going to be you and the person that's living there. At the end of the day, in fact, some of people that are giving pressure, at the end of the day, they may even turn their back at you.
Wow.
So you, for parents, respectively, address them, respectfully address them, talk to them in a manner that they will understand. And as a Christian, please, I will also go back to this.
Yeah,
Pray.
Pray.
You
You
can't
can't
overrule the power of prayer. Pray to God that God will speak to them, that they will understand. Because if the prayer is too much, it will get to a level that someone may disrespect them unknowingly or try to cut them off unknowingly. So pray that God will speak to them, touch their heart, for them to understand that you are still working and things are going to come up. You are not joking, you are not playing. You are working towards getting the right person. So, and with prayers, with consistent, and also making yourself available. I tell people that you may be of age and not available.
That's right.
Wow.
You may be of age and not
How
available.
is that even possible? How is somebody not
It's
like
possible.
they're not going out as
Yeah,
much?
because it's possible, because it gets to a level in your life that you have to do a self-examination. That even if I am the one, as I'm sitting now, can I marry myself? You ask yourself that question. Do a sincere self-evaluation and look at yourself like, if I am a guy that wants to get married to a lady, can I marry myself? So
That's amazing.
When you do that, then you now begin to work on yourself. Maybe you have hunger problem. You have. My wife 2 days ago that with my little conversation with some ladies here in Canada, that some guys will automatically be running away from them. I'm sorry to say that. It's like, because some ladies, when you see them, they always want to have their way. They want to do it the way they want to be done. They are not ready to bend in any form. They are just too straight. And when it comes to the issue of marriage is for both of you to come together. At times you have to put aside some of your belief system to move to the next level. So, you see, you need to reevaluate yourself and see maybe you are available. And that pressure may be a form of pressure test to bring the best out of you to get the right person. So when the pressure is coming, don't just push them aside. Try to listen to them and talk to them and move on with your life, because you are the one that is going to live in that marriage.
Like when you were saying something, sorry, remember she's one of our core team in Realm. It's good your parents know who you are walking this journey with.
Yeah.
It will now give them peace of mind. They are not just sleeping over it.
Yeah.
Have a conversation. This is what I did today. I spoke with my pastor today. I spoke with my leader. I have a married mentor. We are always advising, we'll have a finance coach, have a married coach, you might even have a spiritual coach, have a ministerial coach if you're a ministry person.
Yeah.
I spoke with my married mentor today. So one of them called just yesterday, day before yesterday or yesterday, and when we were talking,
on Thursday.
It was on Thursday. I said she even told I told my mom that I'm working with Pastor Sola and Pastor Nike over this.
So she's carrying her parents along in the journey.
Don't bother about referral. They are there with me on this journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
And thankfully on that Thursday, we're able to connect her to somebody. And they've started friendship.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
On Thursday, this happened on Thursday within the group.
That's
and
amazing.
but she kept calling us, carrying us along, talking. In fact, the first person that approached her in that group, we have a group for singles back. It's still all over the world. Nigeria, people are there.
Wow, that's amazing.
Get set, marry. There are about 500 members there already. You know, somebody connected her and we realized that the guy was just chatting. By the time the guy spoke, he said, no, with this tone, and she said she could not.
Wow.
She called us and she sent the voice note of the guy to us, and truly, obviously for somebody like her, definitely not.
Wow.
So now she's, the cardinal point is, she told her mom, I'm working on this journey with Pastor Sola and Nike. I would rather prefer a referral from them. And the mom, according to her, said, the mom calmed down.
That's amazing. Wow. So from what I'm hearing you say, it's very important. The power of mentorship is important, and also your community is also very important.
Don't keep them in the dark.
That's amazing. Right. Okay. Wow. Thank you so much, Sanma. Thank you so much for everything that you have told us today. Now, this is like the end of our discussion for today. But like, as we just go, what are just one minute, like one sentence, what is your advice for people out there that are looking for love, and they're looking to find their person? What, just 2 seconds.
Marriage is beautiful and you can find love. Just be intentional and pray as if your life depends on it.
Thank you so much, man. Orisa.
Well, all I want to say is don't underestimate the power of agreement when it comes to relationship. Amos 3:3 says, can two work together
Except they be agreed.
Agreement on every aspect of life is very important.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, now we have come to the end of today's episode of the Glow With Us podcast. Don't forget, you can follow us on all our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and everywhere you get your podcast. Just search for Glow With Us podcast. And also for our special guests, Pastor Nike and Pastor Charlotte, all of the details are going to be in the description box on our YouTube, and you can also check wherever you get your podcast from. We are so happy to have had you tune into the show today, and we want to say we love you and we thank you so much for listening in on our show today. Till we see you next time, stay blessed. Bye bye.